now in North Carolina. Just passed through Black Gap and gonna make about a 450-foot climb to the top of Sharp Top. Not much to see at the top of Sharp Top. At 4,259 feet, it's mostly overgrown up there. So I'm heading down right now, 0.7 miles ahead of me. There should be a pretty decent view from a cleared out area. And it's starting to sprinkle right now. The forecast was calling for some thunderstorms this afternoon, so I might get wet. This is from 4,492 feet. Just passed through Sassafras Gap, and so far weather seems to be holding up okay. A few sprinkles have passed over and lots of thunder all around me, but no heavy downpours yet. So I'm gonna head up to Muskrat Creek Shelter, a little less than a mile ahead of me at this point. I'm gonna get there, get my tent and everything set up, just in case the weather does take a turn for the worse. Right now I am at 4,693 feet. That's my highest elevation so far on the AT.
I think I see a plane, like a advertisement plane over there.
You're joking.
Right? I mean, it's flying and it's carrying something. There's like a long line. It looks like a worm.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
it
sky.
does.
Finally underway this morning. I've been in my tent for the last couple hours, waiting for the rain to let up. It started probably about 8 o'clock last night and didn't stop till probably about half an hour ago. And looks like there's going to be more on the way, so I'm going to try and make as many miles today as I can. I originally planned on going to Carter Gap Shelter, which is 12.5 miles up. I'd still like to make it there, but we'll see how it goes with the weather. Been walking through clouds for the last few miles. It's just now starting to open up a little so you can see. Just arrived at Deep Gap, And so far the weather's holding up pretty well, and I just checked the report and looks like it's going to be good for the next couple hours or so. So I'm going to take a break here and then make my way to Beach Gap, 5.3 miles ahead. Entering the southern Nantahala wilderness. Climbing up Standing Indian Mountain, and I just broke 5,000 feet in elevation. And still going up. I'm hiking to the very top of Standing Indian Mountain, and had to take a 0.1 mile side trail off the AT to get up here. And I know I'm not going to be able to see anything, but I don't care. And this is it. Oh wow. This is at 5,478 feet. I'm in the clouds. This is awesome. Just below the top of Standing Indian Mountain are some campsites. And if I thought the weather was going to hold out and be somewhat decent today, I would camp here. I've made it to Beach Gap, and I was thinking this morning, considering what the weather was doing and what it was possibly going to do today, that I'd just set up camp here so I'd be ready for it. But sun's been popping in and out for the last half hour, and Carter Gap Shelter is only 3.2 miles ahead of me, so I think I'm just going to go with my original plan and head there. But first, I'll take a break here. Hear the water from Kilby Creek down below. The trail's just kind of going alongside it up here, and we're not too far ahead. I'll actually cross it. This is cool. Made it into Carter's Gap Shelter, and the weather held up just fine. In fact, it started getting a little sunny, and I don't think there's going to be any rain tonight. It's feeling a little cool, but I don't mind that at all. But here's where I'm camping. Got my tent set up underneath these huge rhododendrons, and I'm just in front of the old shelter. They've actually moved and built a new one just down that way. But pretty cool sights around here. A lot of space for tenting. And left camp about half an hour ago and came across this. Nice and clear out right now. When I woke up this morning, it was pretty cold, very windy. In fact, the wind started up last night and made for a pretty interesting night. But it's starting to die down a little bit now. This is an amazing view. Just walking along the trail and there's this opening, and this is what you see. And it does go straight down. Beautiful. I'm at Bearpin Gap, and I'm about to make about a 400-foot climb up Albert Mountain. And at the top there's a fire tower, and you can see it from down here. That's where I'm heading. You know, I was looking at the elevation chart for Albert Mountain and the 400-foot or so climb up here. It looked like it was almost going straight up, and it wasn't far off. I think that's the most challenging climb I've had so far on these mountains. Fun stuff. And here's a view from the fire tower. Well, making it to the fire tower means I've hiked 100 miles on the trail so far, and that feels awesome. For the next 6.2 miles, it's all pretty much going to be downhill from here to where I'll camp tonight at Rock Gap Shelter. This is kind of cool. Trail is pretty much turned into a stream. I like these switchbacks. Another cold and windy morning. Had some rain come through last night. But I stayed nice and dry in my tent. And today's going to be a short day for me at Nero. I'm only going to do the 4 miles from Rock Gap Shelter to Winding Stair Gap, and then catch a shuttle into Franklin. And I've been debating the last couple days whether or not I was going to go into Franklin or not, but I just finally decided last night to go ahead and do it, because when's the next time I'm going to have the opportunity? Just came through Wallace Gap, and as I'm heading up these steps I can hear water, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from. And it's actually a stream right next to me to my left. You can't see it because all the bushes. This trail will just catch you by surprise sometimes. You know, you're just hiking along and you look off to your left or your right and you just see something amazing. It may just be the way the sun is hitting the clouds at that particular time. It is really something else.